Summary of First They Killed My Father by Loung Ung. In April 1975, Loung Ung is 5 years old and lives in Phnom Penh with her big, loving family. She is a bit of a wild child. Ma is a pretty, well-behaved woman from China, and Pa is a police captain for the Loung Ung government. Loung enjoys a comfortable middle-class lifestyle with her 6 siblings, 18-year-old Meng, 16-year-old Koi, 14-year-old Kiev, 10-year-old Kim, 8-year-old Cho, and 3-year-old Geek. One day, red scarves are tied around the heads of guys who are wearing black clothes. Trucks drive through the streets. The men tell everyone to leave Phnom Penh, and Kiev tells Loung that the men are called the Khmer Rouge. The Ung family travels for 8 hard days, first in Pa's truck and then on foot, until they reach Krang Troop, where they will live with Ma's brothers. Pa says that in order for his family to stay alive, they must act like peasants and never talk about Phnom Penh. This is because the new government, which is called the Anchor, hates any sign of worldliness or ties to the West. When people from the city arrive who know Pa, the Ungs have to leave again. They are sent to the town of An Lungthmer, where they must do hard work every day in exchange for small amounts of food. When food hits, hundreds die. The rest of the locals look down on the Ungs because they have lighter skin, because Ma is Chinese, and don't know much about farming. Pa says that the Khmer Rouge have started killing anyone they see as a threat to the new government. 7 months after leaving Phnom Penh, the family moves back to the town of Ro Leap. The original people who lived in Ro Leap, who the Khmer Rouge called base people and thought were model citizens, don't like the family. Loung doesn't know why the locals look at them with such anger when, to her, they all look the same. Because everyone has to wear a black Khmer Rouge outfit, the guards destroy the clothes of newcomers. Loung is in pain as she watches her favorite red dress, which her mother made for New Year's, catch fire. Even though Democratic Kampuchea, as the country is now called, says that everyone is equal, the new people are treated like slaves. As Chinese Cambodians with light skin, Loung's family has to work harder than most to show that they are important. Ma and Pa make Koi get married to a girl from a nearby town to make it less likely that he will join the Khmer Rouge army. She and Koi, as well as Meng, are sent to a work camp. When they are allowed to visit, the boys bring extra food home, but these trips happen less and less often. Soon, Kiev and all the other kids will have to go to a work camp. Hundreds of people are still dying from hunger, sickness, and being put to death. People say that the boss of the Anchor is a mysterious man called Pol Pot. It is against the law to trade for food, but Pa trades gold that Ma had hidden from the soldiers for extra rice. One night, Loung takes a handful of this rice for herself out of despair. Even though she knows Pa knows she is wrong, she can't bring herself to say it. Kiev dies of dysentery after being in a work camp for 6 months. Pa says that if they want to stay alive, they must go on as if nothing has happened. 4 months later, some guys came to their hut and told Pa he had to go with them. Pa gives Loung one last hug and tells Kim to take care of the house. He knows this is the end. Loung thinks about how the war has made her angry and full of hate. The new year comes and goes, and everyone gets older by 1 year. In order to do what Pa asked, Kim is now in charge of the family and starts stealing corn for them because they are once again close to hunger. One night, though, soldiers caught up with him and beat him badly. Kim lives, but she never steals anything else. The Khmer Rouge have started killing the children of people they have already killed, so Ma makes Loung, Kim, and Cho go their separate ways to protect them. Kim goes on his own, but Loung and Cho find a work camp together. At night, they have to listen to propaganda lessons in which the Anchor and Pol Pot are praised for being strong. After 3 months, Loung is sent to a camp for child troops. There, the girls are taught that the Vietnamese soldiers, called Yuns, are cruel monsters who want to kill them. Loung can go see Ma after 7 months. She feels bad when she sees how weak Geek is and finds out that Cho has been there many times with rice. Later, there is another famine, and Loung gets so sick that she has to walk miles to the only hospital. There, Ma, Geek, Cho, Kim, and Meng surprise her by being there. The family can stay together and be happy for a few days. Still hungry, Loung takes a ball of rice from an old woman, which makes him feel bad. Back at her camp, she heard that the Yun were going to attack. One day, Loung hears Ma and Geek calling to her, so she sneaks away to see them. When she gets there, she finds out that soldiers took her mother and sister away the day before. Loung is so upset by her loss that she can't remember what she did for the next 3 days. When the Yuns attack, a bomb sets fire to Lung's camp. Everyone runs away and joins a crowd of people who are also leaving their homes. Loung is able to find Kim and Cho in the crowd, and they walk for days until they reach guys who Loung understands are the Yuns she was warned about. She is surprised by how human they look. The Yuns show them how to get to a camp for refugees in Posat City. There, Loung finds out that 3 weeks ago, the Yuns marched into Cambodia and beat Pol Pot. She and her brothers find a family to take them in, but they are cold and mean to them. One day, their foster brother Pof, who is 14 years old, tries to sexually abuse Loung. Later, a Yun soldier tries to rape Loung while she is collecting wood, and she only just gets away with her life. Lung's foster mother tells her she'll never amount to anything because she didn't bring home enough wood. Loung thinks about how everything Pa taught her will help her get somewhere. When the Khmer Rouge attack the Yun camp, Loung and her brothers hide in an old building and stay safe. Later, Kim is able to find Meng and Koi, who also made it to Posat City after escaping from their own work camps during the first Yun attack. Both brothers look worn out and tough, but Loung is glad to be cared for again. A Khmer Rouge soldier is caught by the Yuns, and a group of angry peasants demand that he be given to them so they can kill him. Loung crawls to the front of the crowd so she can see how he is killed. Loung and her brothers leave the displacement camp at the end of April and walk for 18 days to get to Bat Deng, where their uncles live. There, their remaining family members are happy to see them. An uncle makes plans for Meng to marry Ing, a girl whose family lives in Vietnam and who was at school during the purge in Phnom Penh. Ing and Meng go to Vietnam after 3 months to see Ing's family. Meng comes back after a few days and is very excited about going to America. First, though, they have to sneak through Vietnam and into Thailand, which is dangerous and expensive. Meng only has enough money for 2 people to go, so he decides to take Loung because she is still young enough to learn English. Meng says that in 5 years, he will have saved enough money to send for his family. A fishing boat is used to sneak Meng and Loung into Vietnam. They live in Saigon with Ing's parents and sisters until they are moved to floating houseboats. After 3 months of peace, they start a scary boat ride that takes them to the Lam Sing refugee camp in Thailand. Before going to America, they have to find a sponsor, so Meng becomes a Christian in the hopes of getting help from a church group. After a few months, Loung's family is one of the poorest in the refugee camp. Meng finally says that they have a backer and will be going to a place called Vermont. Ing takes Loung shopping for fabric so she can make a new dress for the party. She suggests a checkerboard cloth with orange, red, and blue squares, and when Loung sees the red, he agrees. As Loung packs the night before they leave, she learns that her new dress will never be as good as the one her mother made for her, and that her mother is really gone. Loung worries that Pa's spirit won't be able to cross the ocean to be with her in America as she goes off to sleep. Pa tells her in her dreams that he will find her no matter where she goes. The next morning, Loung, Meng, and Ing get on a plane to go to the United States. In the end of the story, Loung, who is now an adult, thinks about her life in America. Meng and Ing and their 2 girls live in Vermont. Even though neither of them knew much about American society, they both got jobs at IBM and now support the whole family. Loung says that because of the way immigration rules work now, it's possible that their family will never be together again. Loung was able to go to college, and he finally moved to Washington, D.C. to work for the campaign for a landmine-free world. She is now a spokeswoman for CLFW and goes all over the world to share its message. Loung tells the story of how she went back to Cambodia for the first time after 15 years. Her family met her at the airport, but they didn't seem to know what to do. But as soon as Cho and Loung look at each other, Cho starts to cry. The two walk out of the airport holding hands as if no time has passed.
About the author. Loung Ung was born in 1970 in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, to a middle-class family. Before the Khmer Rouge took over the country in 1975, Ung and her parents and 6 brothers had a pretty good life. She was a wild and curious kid. Ung had to leave the city with her family when she was only 5 years old. They had to make a hard trip to a faraway country town to work. Ung's father, Sem, was a military police captain for the now-deposed government. To avoid being persecuted, the Ungs tried to look like country farmers. Soldiers from the Khmer Rouge killed Sem in the end. Ung's mother sent her other children to different work camps to keep them safe after he died. The Khmer Rouge later killed her and Ung's younger brother, Geek. Ung lost her parents and was split from her other brothers. She was forced to train as a child soldier until 1979, when the Vietnamese beat the Khmer Rouge. Meng, Ung's oldest brother, and his wife finally snuck her into a Thai refugee camp. There, they got help from a church group and were able to come to the United States in June 1980. They moved to Vermont, where Ung went to school and took care of Meng's 2 girls while Meng worked. Ung got his bachelor's degree in 1993. From 1997 to 2005, he was the spokesman for the Campaign for a Landmine-Free World. She now lives in Ohio with her husband, but she has been back to Cambodia more than 30 times and talked about her experiences all over the world.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.